In this lesson, we will be covering how to complete a credentialing profile for individual practitioners. At this point in the process, a credentialing profile will have been created for you by either your PIHP or CMHSP. Please see the lesson on navigating to your credentialing profile for instructions on how to get to the Credentialing Profiles tab and navigate to the desired credentialing profile. In this scenario, I am in the system as the individual practitioner who is being credentialed, so I would only see my designated profile. You can go ahead and click on the credentialing profile name to navigate into the credentialing profile record. After I'm in my profile, I would head up to Actions and Edit Application. And each of these sections would need to be completed prior to submitting the application back to the PIHP or CMHSP. Please note that you do not have to fill out the sections in chronological order. They can be completed in any order that you choose, so long as all of the required information is filled out. You're able to come back to sections as you're working on them. They don't all need to be completed at once, so feel free to work on each section in the way that works best for you. For this demonstration, I will go through in the order that they are listed. So the first section is practitioner information, office address, and home address. You would want to complete all of the required fields here, indicated by the red asterisks. If you do try to proceed with required information missing, you will receive an error before proceeding. If you're not quite ready to submit all of the required information, feel free to back out by hitting Previous and come back to the section at a later time. Once we've entered all of the required information in here, go ahead and click Next. It will let you know that that section has been successfully updated, and it will take you back to the section menu. You can then head into the next section, which is Education. Here you will want to add a new record. Select that option. And all 4 boxes here are mandatory. Once all of the required information has been entered, hit Next. It lets us know that we have successfully created an education record. You do have the option to go back and edit the record. If you did need to change any of the information, you would just want to make sure that the desired record is selected and then hit Edit. You can add as many records as needed. You also have the option to remove any records. Once you're completed with this section, you would want to select Continue to Options screen, which will take you back to the section menu. The postgraduate medical training, hospital affiliations, and practitioner license/certification sections are all identical to the education section in that you are creating records for that information. You're able to edit it and remove it as needed. I won't walk through each of those just because they are, again, identical to that education section, so you are adding records to each of those sections. Once you have added your records to each of those sections, we will move into the professional background, work history, and acknowledgments and attestation section. This section, like the others, does indicate all required information by the red asterisks. One thing I do want to point out is down in the acknowledgments and attestation section, there is a question on lack of present illegal drug use. Did just want to clarify that selecting yes is saying that you do have a lack of present illegal drug use, so that would indicate no drug use by selecting yes. Once you've completed this section, you would want to also provide a signature here, just attesting to the correctness and completeness of the application, and also making sure that you have checked this box, acknowledging that if your credentialing profile is denied, you will be informed in writing of the reason for the adverse credentialing decision, and that you do have a right to an appeal process, and that appeal process would be initiated within 30 days. Heading back to our section menu, our next section is miscellaneous files. This is just an open box that allows you to upload any other documentation or files that might be necessary to the credentialing process, so those would be uploaded here. Unfortunately, in this view, it does not provide an itemized list of each file that you are uploading. However, I will show where those files do show up after you upload them. You can upload as many as needed. So once you've uploaded any documents in this section, you can hit next to head back to the menu. It will tell you that the files were uploaded successfully. And again, you can do as many as needed. After you have completed each section, you would want to hit complete edits and next. We can hit next again. And then you're taken to your edited credentialing profile, whether you have fully completed adding all of the information or not. If you did upload any documents in the miscellaneous files section, those can be found under the Documents tab to the right of Details, along with any other documents that were uploaded in any of the sections, so those would all display under this Documents tab. Once you have reviewed your profile and ensured that all required information has been entered, everything is complete and accurate, head back up to the Actions button and hit Submit. And then you're asked to agree to the consent statement, which is indicating that you are consenting to have your application and all submitted documents accessible by MDHHS and any contracted PIHPs and CMHSPs for credentialing purposes. Select yes. It then notifies you that your universal credentialing application has been submitted successfully, and your application over here on the left-hand side will now display as submitted. At this point, your credentialing profile is locked down, so you're not able to make any further edits unless requested by your PIHP or CMHSP. So they would need to request any revisions that need to be made to open the profile back up to you. But at this point, you have successfully completed your credentialing profile, and there are no further steps for you to take.